First, a judge blocking his pied-à-terre tax, and now Mamdani is getting humiliated by the NYPD.
Just weeks after taking office, New York's mayor is already getting humbled, and this time it's his own police department doing it.
All the people, all the smiles, basking in his socialist glory, and the media profiles, oh my gosh, they were sickening. But now reality is setting in. First, a judge blocking his pied-à-terre tax, and now Mamdani is getting humiliated by the NYPD. He reportedly said his wife would have taxpayer-funded police protection when she traveled to Syria and Lebanon to visit family, but the NYPD said no, given that both countries are on the State Department's level 4 do not travel list.
Two separate institutions just told Mamdani no in the same week. A judge froze his signature tax policy after the rollout exposed the names, addresses, and property values of over 900,000 homeowners without proper legal notice, forcing the city to pull the whole list down. And then separately, his own police department publicly refused a request to send officers on a taxpayer-funded protection detail to Syria and Lebanon, both active level 4 do not travel countries for his wife's personal family visit. That's not bad luck. That's a rollout so rushed and a request so out of touch that two entirely different institutions independently decided they couldn't go along with it. And the irony here is almost too perfect because of exactly who's asking the NYPD for help.
The NYPD says it will not send security with Mayor Mamdani's wife when she visits Syria and Lebanon next month. And the mayor now blaming his staff for the mixed messaging. Nate Foy joins us now with the details. Nate, what happened?
Hey, Griff. So, yeah, the Big Apple's first lady is headed to the Middle East without a taxpayer-funded police escort. And it comes after sort of a high-profile back and forth between the mayor and the NYPD. A police spokesperson says, quote, the NYPD does not send officers to countries with level 4 travel advisories for discretionary reasons not linked to investigative work. Earlier in the week, a source told the New York Post that the First Lady had requested the escort, and a spokesperson for the mayor's office had confirmed that police would, in fact, join her.
Read that statement again. Discretionary reasons not linked to investigative work? That's about as polite a public no as a police department can give a sitting mayor. And here's what makes it land so hard. Back in 2020, Mamdani himself called New York's police department racist, anti-queer, and a major threat to public safety, and called to defund the department entirely. Now his own office is asking that same department to risk officers' lives, sending them into 2 active conflict zones for a private family trip. Mamdani ended up blaming his own staff for a miscommunication, but the department's public statement makes clear this wasn't a mix-up on their end. They simply don't do this for anyone, and they said so on the record rather than quietly going along with it. While Mamdani was cleaning up that mess in New York, a very similar story was playing out 400 miles away in Wisconsin, where another DSA-aligned candidate was about to have her own reality check.
I guess the exact thing, yes, is if 5 of the USB sticks were missing results from the election, so then they have to go try to re-grab them. Yeah, and they're all the folks behind the scenes are talking about this as well, so we can also look. It's unfortunate.
The folks behind the scenes here, you're saying?
Yes.
Are how do I ask this artfully?
This is Wisconsin's Democratic primary for governor, and David Crowley, the establishment-backed moderate, ultimately won it. But the margin is what makes this clip worth watching. Crowley beat Francesca Hong, the Democratic Socialist frontrunner we covered a couple videos back, by only about 3,000 votes out of nearly 600,000 cast, after polling had shown her up by as much as 30 points just weeks earlier. This moment, captured live on Kornacki Cam, is from the middle of that nail-biter count, and his own reaction on air says everything. This almost never happens when a primary was supposedly this lopsided beforehand. And here's exactly what happened. Straight from the election official herself, no spin needed.
There are 2 things. There's the audit log and the results. What we uncovered was that 5 of the sticks had the audit log downloaded and not the results. It's a human error. These things can happen. So basically what we need to do is go back to the operations center and we're going to download out of those 5 machines the results and make sure that it's not the audit log.
To be accurate here, this was a genuine clerical mistake, not fraud. 5 tabulators had the wrong file type pulled, an audit log instead of the actual results, and officials went back with a police escort to re-download the correct numbers. That delayed the count by about an hour and briefly affected roughly 15,000 absentee ballots before the final accurate count confirmed Crowley's narrow win. But here's the part that actually matters beyond one state. Hong isn't the only DSA-backed candidate whose polling lead didn't survive contact with actual voters. Michigan's Abdul El Sayed saw a 13-point polling lead evaporate down to barely 1 point on election night. Twice now, in 2 different states, DSA-backed candidates with commanding poll numbers have watched real voters show up and deliver a result nowhere close to what the polling predicted, and in Wisconsin's case, an outright loss.